Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 5 of The Insider. It's kind of wild that we've done 5 of these so far. I'm Celine, and I am part of the coaching team here at the U of A. And Katie is our coaching coordinator, and we recently added Kenley to our team. We're so excited to have her on the coaching team, and this is her first episode with us. So I'll go ahead and let her introduce herself and share a little bit about herself and how she ended up here at the U of A.
Hi, thank you all for having me today. I'm really excited to be here for the first episode. Since I've been hired on, I've now been at the University of Arkansas for about a month now. And I got hired on to be an online student coach like Celine, and her and Katie have been really great at helping me get adjusted and just learn more about this role. So I'm really thankful for them. I actually just moved to Fayetteville, Arkansas, um, I guess 2 months ago, from Alabama. I was born and raised in Birmingham, and I got my bachelor's in political science from the University of North Alabama, which is up there near Tennessee. So kind of moved around a little. I graduated this past spring, so May of 2023. And since then, I've moved here with my husband, who is a grad assistant. And so we moved up here to Fayetteville, and we were just looking around, and I found this job, and it was a great fit, and I've loved it so far. Um, a little bit about myself. I like to hike outside. I have a cat. She's currently going crazy since I'm working from home. I'm watching her run around the house right now, so that's really sweet. So I like to hike. I like to work out. I like to read books. So there's definitely, on my off days, I am definitely in the house reading a book or watching a show. But anyways, I'm really glad to be here with all of you. Um, in my position, I will be working with a lot of students that are in the Walton College of Business, as well as many other students from any other degree. But if you are a Walton student, feel free to reach out to me and email with me to get a meeting set up. And I look forward to meeting a lot of you guys and being able to have conversations with you. So yeah, it's been an exciting month, and I look forward to the rest of it.
Yeah, and like Kenley sort of explained, here in the coaching office, we've sort of divvied up the student population a little bit differently. So even if you're not sure like who your coach is, you can always just reach out to the team, and one of us will always be there to answer your email, get back to you, schedule an appointment with you if needed. So definitely don't hesitate to reach out if you do like have any questions, even if you don't know exactly who to reach out to. One of us will be there to help. And so one thing, of course, that we're obviously really excited about is the Insider. And for our 5th episode, we wanted to bring in a special guest who can share her expertise about Blackboard, about that tech support stuff. I get a lot of students I know who need help with that kind of thing, and they might not know who to reach out to, and we can always point them to our Blackboard support team, who are really amazing. So tonight we have Abby Moser here, who's going to help us talk with you guys about Blackboard, share some common solutions to common tech issues, and just go over any sort of things that she sees on her end that students have questions about. So we're really excited for her to join us tonight, and so I'll pass it over to Abby.
So hi everybody. My name is Abby Moser, and I have been part of the Blackboard support team since before it was called Blackboard. We used to have a different program called WebCT, and it was not good. So we are in a better version of Blackboard now than we used to be, but we are always changing. And if you're taking online classes with us, you've probably noticed that if you're taking more than one, that you might have different views of it right now. There's 2 different versions of Blackboard floating out there, so it's added an extra layer of confusion for students and faculty. It's not something that we're super excited about, to have 2 different versions of things running around, but it's where we are right now. If you keep taking classes with us, by next fall, they'll all be the same. We're just giving instructors that needed a little extra time, giving them some space to be able to develop their classes and not feel like they were being shoved into a new version of Blackboard. So it's super fun. We love it. But yeah, so I'm going to talk to you guys today about how to get support for those classes that you're taking. Basics of navigating Blackboard. I'm sure you've already all logged into it by now. And then our biggest common solutions and problems that we see and how to deal with them. So the first thing is how and when to reach out for support. I was talking to these lovely ladies before we started the meeting about what hours I work every day. And we are here every day at 7 a.m. during the school week. So Monday through Friday, we're here at 7 a.m. And we do coverage until midnight on Monday through Thursday. And then we are also here on the weekend. So Friday nights, nobody does any work. We look at the Google Analytics for Blackboard and there's like 12 people on there and they aren't in the United States. They're in other places. So the time zone is correct for them. No one does anything after 5. So we do not work after 5. Then on Saturdays, we're here from 11 to 4 because again, the analytics tell us that's the only time students work on Saturdays. They say, I'm going to sleep in, but I'm not going to work late. And then on Sundays, everyone waits till the last minute and does all of their work on Sunday because by default, instructors make everything due on Sundays. And so we have coverage on Sundays from 11 to midnight because we want to try to make sure that everyone gets the support that they need. I try to tell students to lie to themselves a little bit and tell themselves that their work is due at 10 o'clock instead of due at midnight because there are only 3 people on our team. And so if 3 people have a problem at 11:50 and they call, that's all of our people. So if you're the 4th person and you've got an 11:59 due date, we just can't answer the phone. Like we're not a huge call center. We're your local tech support. We're here on campus. We're here at our houses taking care of folks. So lie to yourself and force yourself to not be able to procrastinate until the last minute so that if anything does go wrong, you have support. If you've been doing anything in tech for any amount of time, you know that if you wait until the last second, that is the day that your computer will break. That is the day that your Wi-Fi will go out. That is the day that your dog will chew through the cable. Like everything goes wrong if you wait, especially if it's a big project. So tell yourself it's due a day early. Tell yourself it's due hours early. Whatever it is that helps you, try to do that for yourself. Okay. But I do try to tell students to reach out to us as quickly as possible when they have a problem. So I've had students that called me and said, I've been working on something for 2 weeks. I'm about to tear my hair out. It's due in an hour. I've emailed my instructor. I've emailed the dean of the college. I've emailed everyone I can think of. And I say, did you email us? Did you contact us? And I said, well, I didn't want to bother you. Like, it's our job. That's literally what we're here to do. So I tell students, and I tell faculty too, that take 15 minutes to try to figure it out. 15 minutes is your cutoff. I want people to Google it. I want you to look at our help articles. I want you to watch videos. I want you to click on random things and see if it works. But after 15 minutes, you're going to be more frustrated by the search than you will be satisfied by the answer. We want everyone to, it's college classes. The goal is to learn on your own, to experiment, to gain knowledge. But if you're just sitting there getting constantly frustrated over and over again with a technology that is supposed to be helping you and supporting you, that is not a positive experience for anyone. I do not enjoy talking to someone crying on the phone. That is no one's idea of a good shift. We don't want you to get to that point. So give yourself a 15-minute cutoff. Try to submit the work. Try to do the video, whatever it is. Do your Google and then give us a call. If you don't want to give us a call, you can always email us. Okay, I'm going to do a little screen share with you so I can show you the Blackboard page and how to navigate some things actually. But in the interim, I'll give you our email address and our contact information. So whenever you want to get a hold of us, so I'm going to share this screen. Yeah, myself. Okay. So whenever you come into your Blackboard page, it's learn.uark.edu. I always recommend bookmarking this, but if you are someone who just likes to, get places by clicking around, You can go to the main University of Arkansas page, and any University of Arkansas page will have these quick links at the top, and you can get to us through there. This is also really nice for you if you do come to campus and you need to get around. It's got the campus map, it's got your email, it's got your directory, all those good things. Okay, but if you're coming straight to our page, learn.uark.edu, the things I like to point out to students here, first of all, is again, reminder of those hours. And it says that we're here until midnight on Friday and Saturday. Again, we are not, but the regular help desk is. So if you need to do anything that just needs tech support, they're here for you. Okay. But we do also have over here on the left, we have our tech support chat. So some people don't like to talk on the phone. I'm one of those people that if I have a choice, if I can, order food on a website, I am 100% doing that instead of calling the restaurant. So if you would like to chat with us instead of calling us, that's totally fine. We also have this Blackboard help for students. This is the page that we create for you. So there is, Blackboard Corporate has their own website that they update as well. But we create these because we have students contact us and there isn't a specific article for our specific instance of Blackboard on the Blackboard Corporate page. So we've created our own help page for our students so that if you have any questions, we can send you an article that's created for you. So it's part of the other reason that we want you to let us know if you're experiencing problems, because we may not realize that that tool or that version of a tool is being used a lot in a class. And so we may not have an article created for it, or it may just be kind of tricky. Like here, you'll see that we have Kaltura videos for submissions on discussions and submissions and assignments. They are really, really similar, but we had enough students that had just that little bit of confusion that we said, there's no reason not to create both of those articles. So we will get as specific as we need to so that you have the exact article that you need to know what's going on. So let us know if you experience things like that so that we can create the articles for you. Okay. And then you can always call the help desk number, and we're option 2 whenever you call in. So just pick us. You can create a ticket here at help.uark.edu, or you email us and it's just bbhelp@uark.edu. So our help page is bbhelp.uark.edu and the email address is bbhelp@uark.edu. So feel free to reach out to us 24 hours a day on that email. Okay. Then whenever you log into Blackboard, I'm going to just talk to you a little bit about navigating it. And while I'm chatting to you guys, I know that I do talk quickly. So if you have any questions, feel free to post them in the chat and let me know. Or if you have questions later, of course, just reach out to us again. So first things I'm going to walk you through here is just our Blackboard interface. Whenever you come into your class, into Blackboard, you'll see this first page. This is our institution page. And we'll always put in whatever important information that we see coming up pretty frequently. Like right now, the biggest things that we have to work on is that third-party cookies need to be enabled. And then also that we need to make sure that everybody's browsers are updated. Okay. The first 2 weeks of class, we also, as a group, have a tech checkup chat on Zoom, and we just sit in there all day and we use our pretty little Zoom avatars and we help everyone that comes in, and we help the folks that come into the union and have any questions about their tech. So if you need that in the first 2 weeks, that's available for you as well. Okay, so always just keep an eye on this. This will let you know if there's anything crazy going on. Okay. The second part of this left-hand menu is your name. So my name is officially Abby Moser, Blackboard Support. I recommend strongly as a student that you come in here and put in a picture of either yourself or something that you care about, or something that's, an identifying picture for you. Just because in a lot of your classes, you're going to have discussion boards or interactions, and this picture will show up next to everything. And we've all been online long enough to know that if you have anonymity, people are more likely to be jerks. So having your picture there and having your picture show up next to the things that you're working on makes it so that people have there's less likelihood that they'll lean towards the mean. So we want to make sure that we look like real people and that we're interacting as often as possible. Okay. And here, there's a lot of other options for you. You can add your name pronunciation in here. You can put your pronouns in. You can add your phone number if you'd like to get a text message from us. But the main thing that people use this for, adding their pictures and then limiting how often Blackboard contacts you. You may have already experienced this joy, this terror of getting 100 emails a day from Blackboard. By default, the email notifications are set up to email you right away when anything happens, right? So anytime your instructor adds a new PowerPoint, anytime there's a new assignment added, things like that, it'll email you right away. Just come in here and change it to email me once a day so that you're still getting those notifications and you're not training yourself to ignore them, but you aren't getting inundated, right? So come in here, change those global notification settings and make your life a little bit easier. Okay. But for the most part, whenever you come into Blackboard, you're just going to come over here and click on your courses tab. And it's going to look something like this. Now, there are two different views that you can have whenever you look at this page. Up here in the top left, you'll see you got this grid and you got the lines. I prefer, just in general in my life, a simpler view. I get distracted by pretty things. So I tend to do the line view. But if you like to have just a little beauty in your life, you can do this one as well. Okay. And if you're taking a lot of classes, like for me, you'll see like it just keeps going. I will come in here and click the little star next to the ones that I'm going to be using the most frequently. And that will pop them up to the top of my page so that I'm not having to scroll down and find them. And then if I decide I don't need them, I just click the star again and it's gone. Okay. So that to me is really helpful because I do just have a lot of classes at all times. So everyone does it differently. But in general, you're just going to come in here, you're going to click on your course. And if you're taking an original course, it's going to look like this. All right, you'll have this left-hand panel, and then your main content area will be over here on the right. Now, if it's an ultra course, this left-hand panel comes up to the top. And so you'll just navigate through the top rather than through the left-hand panel. Okay. Now, if you come in here and you don't see this guy, this is some of these things you may never experience. So you may be like, why is she talking about this? This will just be one of those things, if it ever happens to you, it is the most anxiety inducing thing in the world. So this is a freak out for people. In my class and all of my content is gone. I can see that I have a test overdue, but I don't know how to get there. There's no way to get there. What do I do? If you come into your class and it looks like this, your menu is just hidden. All you have to do is come over to the left-hand side and click on this little arrow and get it back. The way that this happens to most people is that they are really zoomed in and this happens. And so even that gray bar is gone, right? So all we have to do again, we click on the little arrow and this will come up and pop up over the page. And then on your keyboard, you just do Control-0 and that'll take you back to a normal zoom on your screen so that you can see things normally. This happens a lot, especially with people that are using screen readers or they have any visual impairments. You know, people zoom in because they need help seeing things. And so depending on how your page is set up, it can really impact how you are seeing Blackboard if you don't know how to do that. Okay. So that's one of those little things that can be really scary. The other reason that can happen is because you have an out-of-date browser. One of the things that we're seeing really frequently right now, especially with Mac users, and this happens at the beginning of every semester, is that people's operating system is up to date, but it isn't upgraded. So if you're a Mac user and you go and click on your little Apple and you go to system update, it'll say, you're up to date. Well done. Congratulations. Everything's perfect. But that's up to date for the current version of your operating system. And that operating system could be 5 years old. It's not a new operating system. So nothing will update correctly because the operating system hasn't been updated. So it's one of the few things with a Mac that you actually have to Google. You have to Apple OS upgrade instead of update. So this is your key phrase, Apple OS upgrade. And it will get you to the page where you can upgrade your system. there are things that you're going to be asked to use, and especially in online classes, things like the Respondus Lockdown browser, the Proctor U Guardian browser. Those things require a pretty up-to-date operating system for them to run on your computer. And if you have a computer that's more than 5 years old, you probably need to update your OS or upgrade your OS. So just know that whenever you try to start installing stuff and it says you can't do it, that's probably why. Okay. For Windows users, you're going to be getting pushed to Windows 11. We are not pushing people there yet. Windows 10 is fine. It works great on everything. You just need to make sure that everything else is up to date. We will get on people's computers and they will say, I've been trying to do this. Also, this semester, it's worked for me half the time and it doesn't work for me the other half of the time. And you'll get in there and you'll look at every browser that they have, and it'll have a big red line at the top that says this browser is out of date and it is not working correctly. And we'll say, have you clicked on that to see if maybe updating it will like fix it? They go, I just hate updating things. Well, in the digital age, sometimes we have to do that because otherwise computers don't work. So we have to make sure we're doing that. So especially for Chrome users, you'll see if it's yellow up in the corner, red up in the corner, you've got to go ahead and go through those upgrades or updates. And the other part of that is that you got to turn your computer off and then back on so that it will finish your updates. We have had people that come in to the tech checkup or to the office and say, I've accepted every update. And we say, have you turned your computer off? They go, I close it every night. I say, closing your computer just puts it to sleep. It doesn't turn it off. And they go, so what? I say, your computer hasn't been turned off in 5 years. You need to turn your computer. And they will have 12 hours of updates that need to run that just never went through. So every time they thought they were updating their antivirus, every time they thought they were updating their browser, every time, nothing finished. So you have to make sure that's like the biggest thing that we can always recommend to students is making sure that everything that you have is up to date. That doesn't mean you have to go out and buy a brand new computer. In fact, most of the times you shouldn't. You probably, if you're using a good quality computer that's 4 years old, that's going to be better than going out and buying a brand new Chromebook, right? We want to use the computer that you're comfortable with, that you know, and just get it healthy. So if we can help anytime with any of those things, we're more than welcome or more than happy to. And the IT services help desk will also get in there and help with that. We have the full Office 360 suite. We have all of those things. We have antivirus. We have all of the things that can help you. It's just as soon as you start to notice things not working correctly, that's whenever you need to reach out. So Chrome, awesome. Firefox, other awesome as browsers. Edge and Safari, not so awesome. Edge is getting better every day because Chrome is forcing it to. But Safari and Edge, because they are the native browsers on your computer, they don't have any competition. So they don't feel any desire to be innovative, to step up their game, to do any of that stuff. So Safari is going to have a lot of issues interacting. Okay. And that is a good, so we do have a lot of resources at the university that are free to you as students and stay with you for, I think, 2 years after you graduate. So we have the full Office 360 suite that you can download to your computer. You can also access it online, and it has a huge amount of storage in it. So if you need to share documents, if you need to back things up, use those free resources. We always recommend to students that whenever you're doing work, that you have a backed up version of every single thing that you turn in, that you have it backed up to a cloud service and you have it saved on your computer. So if there's ever any issue with an instructor that says, oh man, you didn't turn that in, and you say, okay, I see that it didn't get turned in correctly. I can show you the document. I can show you the last moment it was saved. I can show you I haven't edited it since then. Can I please turn it in for a certain amount of credit? Have all that stuff as backup. The other reason that you want this, we have students that will reach out to us after they've graduated and say, I'm applying for a specific internship. I'm going into this job. I'm changing my career field. I worked on a portfolio in a class where there's some amazing work, and I would really like to use that for my job application. And it's gone because we only hold on to student work for 2 years. That's the law, is we hold on to things for 2 years, and after that it's gone. So if you ever would like your resource, your material that you've created, your intellectual property, it needs to be saved in a place that you can access it.
Yeah, and with that, does anyone have any questions? You can put them in the chat box or unmute, whichever you're more comfortable with, or email Abby later if you need help getting that Microsoft 360 or any of the other resources. We're definitely here to support, and I'll leave some time for questions and let Celine wrap us up.
I just want to say I didn't know that they kept student work for 2 years after. That's really interesting.
Yeah, it's part of the FERPA regulations.
Mm.
So you had like, and this is part of the reason we encourage faculty to make everything on Blackboard,
Mhm.
so that anything that students turn in, if somebody has a grade dispute, anything like that, they can do that for 2 years. So if you as an instructor have people turn things into you on paper, legally, you're supposed to hold on to that document in a safe and secure place for 2 years after that student has left your class. So I have a drawer in a locked desk that has manila folders from the students who did not pick up their documents the last day of class. And I'm always like, guys, please show up. I don't want to hold on to your stuff for 2 years. And they're like, I already don't need to be there last day. It makes me sad. And I just put the link in the chat to the Office 365. It's got the online portal that you can log into if you just want to use the online version, but it also does have a downloadable version. Just if you're going to download it, just know it does take a while. So it is not a 5-minute thing. It's do it before you start cooking dinner and look at it before bed. And just real quick on the other resources, I will say in Blackboard, there is in that left-hand panel, one of the options is assist, and it has all of the free resources that are available to you at the university. So we've got psychological services, we've got tutoring, we've got internship opportunities, lots of different things in there. If you're finding that in any of your classes that you're just not really understanding what the teacher wants from you, or that, they're asking for a skill that you haven't used in a really long time, reach out to the tutoring folks. They've got somebody that is just going to be like, oh yeah, here, let's do a 30-minute session and see what works, see if we can get you some help on that. They may not have all the answers, but they can at least get you better off than you were to start with. And it's something people are paying for anyway, so you might as well use it and see if it helps you out at all.
Yeah, just to kind of piggyback off the tutoring, here at Global Campus as an online student, you actually have access to TutorMe, which is a free tutoring service that you can get a tutor 24/7 any time of day. They're available even on holidays, and they cover like over 300 topics. And we've seen it's hard for our online students to get tutoring through other campus resources. So if you need tutoring resources, reach out to your coach, Celine, myself, or Kenley, and we can definitely get you hooked up with TutorMe for any of those
That's awesome.
bit more difficult. Yeah, Global Campus carries the fee for it, so it's completely free.
Yeah, take advantage of that. I mean, all of the opportunities you can, take advantage of them while you're here.
For sure.
Yeah, and to piggyback off of the assist, that is also where you can go to UA Success, which is where you can schedule with your coach or schedule with your advisor. And if you just like look us up by name, you should be able to find like our calendar, see our availability, and schedule an appointment. So if you maybe are like in Blackboard and you're struggling with your course and you're a little you need some steady tips, you just hop over to UA Success and make an appointment. And we can talk about, how you plan to break up your studying, how you plan to take better notes, anything like that that could give you a boost in your classes alongside, tutoring and those other services. Definitely don't hesitate to take advantage of any of those. They're all there for you and free for you to use.
And another one of those things that's, let's do this early rather than whenever
Hmm.
the grades are dipping. Like, there's no reason not to reach out at the very beginning and say, hey, I'm working on this class. What is the best way? Do you have tips? Are there ideas that you've seen people be successful with in the past?
Yeah, and we're really excited about having TutorMe because, of course, you can go through the tutoring center and get scheduled with another student who's mastered the course, but it might be like 9 p.m. and you're doing homework after a long day and you don't necessarily have access to that tutoring right then, but Tutor Me is like 24/7 and you can like especially if you're doing like math or like chemistry, you can plug in a problem that you have, like a example problem, and they can like sort of walk you through the steps, help you through it, which is really great for when you don't have that access to the tutoring center right away. And if you ever are like with a tutor and they're not explaining it in a way that you're understanding, just click out and get a new tutor and like they'll match you with someone new. That way, you'll find someone who can explain it to you in a way that you understand, and sort of match your learning style.
That would be me in a chemistry class where I'm like, explain it to me like I'm a fifth grader. Like
Hmm.
start slow. And so yeah, just a reminder, reach out to us. We are local, we're here. That it's just a little team of us, but we love helping people. That's the reason that we're in it. Most of us come from a customer service background, and so we've all waited tables and and loved the people we waited tables with, but we love being able to solve people's problems. If we can't solve them right away, we'll find somebody who can.
That's what I always tell my students about coaching. Like, I might not know all the answers, but I know who does, and I can help you find them, and we can make sure that your questions get answered just so that, you're taken care of and you're not worried about how am I going to submit this on Blackboard or how am I going to, get through this. It's more about like focusing on your courses and we've got the rest.
All right, I think that is all that we have. We went over 9 minutes, so thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Like I said, if you need anything, email addresses are in the chat and reach out to us if you ever need anything.